back to the channel. Today we're working on a 2011 Chevy Impala. We were called to do an oil change and filter service along with a front right wheel hub assembly. This wheel hub assembly has the integrated wheel speed sensor in it, so we had to change that out due to the wheel speed sensor having a erratic performance code. I believe it was C0040. So right here we are pulling the drain plug. I don't know why everybody loves watching oil drain out of a car, but seems to be one of those things everybody likes watching, so I figured I'd throw this little shot in there for you. I did end up picking up a new oil pan drain bolt. The rubber washer on this one was pretty flat last time that I did the oil change on this. Looked like it was leaking quite considerably, as you can see from all the saturation of oil. That almost sucked right there. And what that is a rubber oil absorbent mat. It's kind of like pigskin, but just an oil absorbent mat with a rubber coating on the bottom, so if you do happen to spill oil on it, it won't soak all the way through and then soak into the concrete. Being that I am mobile, it's just a nice thing to put down. That way when you show up to a clean concrete pad, do some automotive work, when you're finished, you can roll it up, it's done, and you also leave a clean concrete pad. And here we are using a Wix oil filter, and here's the flat rubber washer on the old oil drain plug. You can see it's pretty flat. I think last time I was going to change it, but nobody had one on hand, so this time I did order one ahead of time. And it's, I believe, $2 to purchase a package of 2 of those rubber washers. Or it was $2.25 to just buy the bolt and the washer together. And this car had roughly 164,000 miles on it, so I just opted for the new bolt and the new washer. I'll keep the old bolt in a parts bin, bagged and tagged for this car exactly. So if I do have to, actually I will order some new washers for it. That way on the next oil change I already have the bolt with the new rubber washer ready to go back on if she calls me back and wants me to continue working on her car. But again, you can see that that oil pan is pretty saturated. So I figure this would be cheap insurance to make sure that that oil drain plug is not leaking anymore. And I believe I was running a Wix oil filter on this car using 5W30 full synthetic Mobile 1. I believe it was 19 foot-pounds on the oil drain plug. And here living in Iowa, you get the rust, you get salt in the wintertime, which happens to corrode everything, so it's fun getting that tire off. There was some rubber mallet used to beat that rim to get it to pop loose off that rotor. Then we're going to remove the caliper bracket bolts, and now we're just going to pull the caliper bracket, everything off in one shot. Hang it up to the hook so we don't let it hang by the line. Here you can see the the front brake pads are pretty worn down. I did let the customer know that she is going to need those to be replaced very, very soon before it gets into her rotor, causing more damage. Here I'm using a impact twist. I can't remember what they call it, but helps get the screws out of the rotor that they put in from the factory to keep or to hold them onto the hub. It's one of those nice little tools to have living in the Rust Belt states. When I showed up to do this job, it was roughly 50 degrees sunshine. And then about 15 minutes after started working on it, clouds rolled in, wind rolled in, temperature dropped about 20 degrees, started sleeting on me, started snowing. One downfall of not having an actual shop or a bay to work in is you get to work outside in the elements. 1 minute could be 50 degrees, next minute it's sleeting and 30 degrees and your hands are freezing. But there's the ABS sensor plug. You just got to pull up on the gray tab, possible black tab if that's what yours has. And then there's the connector coming from the car on a little bracket. All you got to use is a pair of pliers, squeeze the two tabs together, and that plug will pop out from its bracket. I believe that bracket was on the back of the dust cover. So make sure you take that off before you pull the hub off and pull the dust cover off, and you pull your connector off with it. Again, more joys of living in the Rust Belt states. That was about 45 minutes. I'm trying to get that thing off, being that I don't have a torch. Would have really assisted me in having a torch to get that off a lot quicker, but a lot of corrosion on that one. So then take a wire wheel, clean up the wheel hub, or the knuckle. I'm using a wire wheel that is an aluminum knuckle. You have to be very, very careful on aluminum when using a wire wheel. You can gouge it. As you can see how rusty the end of that axle is. That's what was seized onto the hub, and that's what was giving me such a pain in getting that off. So we gave her a spritz of the fluid film to help slow down any more corrosion or rust, just in case this new hub does have to come off in the future. But we are using a heavy duty wheel hub assembly, completely coated, wheel studs, hub, everything. And here I almost messed up. I almost put this hub on without putting that rock shield, dust shield, whatever. Everybody's got different names for it. But I almost forgot to put that on. And nothing is more irritating getting those put on, getting everything torqued down, and you realize you forgot that. And those do have to go back a certain way. The wire's only so long for that wheel speed sensor. So that's another thing to pay attention to, is how the old one came off, because the new one has to go on the exact same way. But we'll get the new bolts snugged up, then we'll grab the torque wrench, get everything torqued down to factory specs. Here I'm using a gear wrench 1/2 inch drive torque wrench. As you can see on the camera, all the nice rain, nice pretty clouds rolling through. Putting the axle nut back on. I believe that was, if I do recall correctly, torqued down to 130 or 132 foot-pounds. I ended up using a pry bar to hold the hub stationary while I torqued that down. But another shot of the fluid film, hopefully help slow down any rust or corrosion. Anyways, we'll get the caliper bracket back on, we'll get the tire back on, lug nuts torqued down to 100 foot-pounds. But we'll let you guys enjoy the video for a few minutes with some music till we get to the oil change. we did get the terminals all cleaned up. Cleaned up the terminals on the battery, cleaned up the battery terminal connectors on the inside. Now that we got everything said and done, we're going to fire up the Altel and pull up the wheel speed sensors on the car, go take it for a test drive. Make sure all the wheel speed sensors are reading correctly. She did have a bunch of code stored in her modules for loss of communication, battery voltage low, but that'll be due to the bad battery that she has in the car, and then a couple ABS codes, and again they were the C0040s for front right wheel speed sensor performance erratic. But go take the car for a little test drive, and you guys can see all 4 wheel speed sensors are reading correctly this time. All the lights are off on the dash, so all she needs now is get those front brakes changed, possibly rears. I did not even look at those when I was there. New battery, new brake pads. I think she should be good to go again for a while. So thanks for watching, you guys. We'll see you on the next one.